late night piece of my mind with me. I'm Bailey Stanfield, and over here we got Zack Scriven.
What is up, guys?
We're about to talk some stuff, you know. This is about to get deep. I titled it "Dropping Everything and Starting." I figured that was a nice,
dude.
Nice
okay, so
title.
are we gonna syndicate this podcast to my podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
If that, I mean,
all right. So I gotta roll this intro.
yes.
Welcome to the Zack Scriven podcast. All right, that's it. So yeah, this is the Zack Scriven podcast, guys. You are listening to the up-and-coming podcast within the industry, helping you get the most out of life and in business. And Bayfield, you are muted still. There you go. So when you play a video, it actually mutes. When you play a video on Appear In, it mutes both of us by default.
Interesting.
So yeah, fun fact. Yeah, so Bayfield, Bailey Stanfield, my friend, my YouTube collaborator, creator, friend, and mentor. I'm having him on the podcast. He's been on the podcast before. This is kind of a deviation from our typical automation month, like that I've been focusing on my podcast. But this is kind of an opportunity for me to reflect on where I'm at and get some guidance from another creator. And like he said, give up everything and just keep going, or
dropping everything and starting.
Dropping everything and starting. Yeah. So I was watching. I've been really big in the LinkedIn creator game. Like, kind of that's my primary focus right now. Strangely enough, I never would have thought that, but that's just kind of like what was working for me. So I just continue to go with it, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. But there's this guy, Kurt Mercendante. He has like this big beard, and he was talking about like how, I mean, he's basically just describing my situation. Like you know, like the 9-to-5 mentality is like workplaces that are focused on the inputs and not focused on the outputs. So like the inputs being like, you know, you got to be here from 9 to 5, but the outputs are actually like what work gets done. And, you know, like he said, 63% of the workforce actually agrees that methodology is like antiquated, yet we still enslave ourselves to it. Like, I'm very fortunate in that I didn't have any debt. A lot of people in my situation may not have had that luxury to be able to quit. Like, they may have been, you know, like anchored to that job. And that's unfortunate, because as a society, like, that's not what we want. You know, we don't want people feeling like they're not valued or not in the best position that suits them, you know?
Yes, I agree. Is the music really loud for you?
Is it still playing on your side?
Yeah.
No, I closed it.
Oh.
So yeah, that's the only thing that I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that.
Just let it happen.
Yeah, like I guess it starts playing it on his screen and on my screen, but if I close it, then it stops playing.
Sweet. Huh, I didn't know that you could even do that.
So that whole time I was talking, your audience probably couldn't even hear me or something.
Well, I don't know. I was like reading your lips. That's funny.
Okay.
I gotta learn all this.
Okay, yeah, because I couldn't tell.
That's funny. No, that's sweet.
Oh yeah, but Kurt Mercendante is pretty big in the LinkedIn creator game.
Yes. LinkedIn is something that I gotta also get in on. I have like the basis, and it's more or less like a resume. Like, I don't really do anything. I'll just like point people towards it as a resume, and that's it. Like, it doesn't.
So this
on it.
One thing that was interesting that happened this weekend. So a little bit of a backstory for you or for those people that aren't following me on LinkedIn. Some other creator, her name is Casey Jones, said she was going to this event and that we should go, and it was in Portland. And I'm like, all right, let's go, because you know I have free flight benefits. So basically, and I had Airbnb stay credit, so I basically just got to go there for like, you know, lifts and stuff. Like, that's my only really expense, right? So I'm like, why not? So I go there, and it was really cool getting to talk to her from her perspective because she's got like 6,000, 7,000 followers on LinkedIn. I only have like 1,400, but like to hear validation from her that she's like, yeah, this is like really crazy because, you know, her like me, like when we first started, you just put a raw, like a 1 minute upload of you just talking, and it's not like very high quality, like not saying it's high quality, but it's not like, it's more about what you're saying than like editing tricks, right? Like on YouTube, everything is super edited, where on LinkedIn it's kind of weird, it's like kind of raw, even though it's a professional website. And so we were kind of talking about that, and it kind of is validating what I am seeing also, that it's like an opportunity. So I'm like, that's why I wanted to jump on that opportunity and be a full-time LinkedIn creator. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So I was like vlogging every day. Like I did 2 vlogs on Sunday, and like people that I were at the event saw that vlog before like I even met them. They like knew who I was before I went there. So that was pretty it was crazy, yeah. Um so then I'm gonna probably go to Dallas later this week. There's 2 other creators that are really cool. Their names are Kyle and Kyle, and they do a show called Coffee with Kyle's, and it's basically blowing up. Like that Kurt Mercendante guy was actually on their podcast last week, like 4 days ago. And
Was that the video that you sent? I saw you sent a video on LinkedIn that I went and watched. Was that the guy?
let's
I
see.
think it was the guy with the beard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. Was it? And it was the Coffee with Kyle. Oh yes, because
Yeah.
because I really like their intro video, and I was like, dude, you gotta teach me how to do something like that. Because that's one thing, my skill set on editing is not that high, but as I'm doing it every day, it's getting better. You know, like I've been
What are you
using.
using?
So these little mini vlogs, I was using Adobe Clip.
I've never even heard of that.
It's
Isn't it on your phone?
yeah. So it's basically, it allows you to just put together the clips, and then you know, so it's not just like a one, like, because I was just doing initially where I was just like holding the phone and just talking for like a minute or 2 minutes, and sometimes I'll still do that, but like for the Portland thing, it's like I had a little bit of where I'm walking through the airport, and then I get to the hotel, you know, the Airbnb, and then I get to the pizza place, and then I'm telling the whole story, and then like a little bit of the conference, and then me just having coffee with Casey and stuff like that. So yeah, and then like some of the people, they thought it was really cool, you know. So I was like, all right, it's so encouraging when you get to actually talk to the people that watch your videos, you know. So
Yes.
that was cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, and just getting to see Portland, they're very hipster there, so I was like having a little bit of a culture shock, even though I'm kind of like used to that. It just was weird seeing it like everywhere, right? Like, you know.
Have you ever seen the show Portlandia?
No, what is that?
It's a show with Fred Armiston and Carrie something like Brownstein or something, but it's just it's this ridiculous show about Portland, and it seems ridiculous, but apparently it's super accurate. Like it's exactly like what Portland's like, and they'll like have these stores that are women's bookstores where the whole thing is like women's bookstore, but it's like all these niche markets. I don't know. It's a show that you gotta see.
What's it
It's
on?
legit.
You say it was on Netflix?
Yeah, Portlandia. It's a IFC original, which is interesting, like the TV channel IFC.
Okay, so I just realized I'm live on my channel with the title Day 38 Bible in 90 Days.
Sweet. That's what they call me.
I always forget to update the titles before I go live. It's like the one thing that always gets me.
I do the same. Like today, I was doing one of my Fortnite streams and I had forgotten to update it, and I literally pushed live and realized like 2 seconds later and ended it, and I had a 2-second video that was uploaded.
Dude, so tell me about your live streams and how that's been going, and what you've been seeing with that.
So this is, I don't even, I mean, I still am trying to, like, I have a board of all the days that I'm trying to do things like Monday through Monday, like, and
Okay.
I want to have a day, like, I want to be doing something every single day, but it's what I'm going to be doing each of those days. And I've been trying to do gaming live streams on a separate channel that I've created under our
A Quiet Wave.
umbrella, Quiet Wave, umbrella, and it's Quiet Wave Gaming. But we are trying to do Fortnite, which is like the big game right now, And I've never really been a gamer, but it's such a quick game that can be.
Oops, I had your audio down.
Oh, that's okay. Talking about streaming on Fortnite and Quiet Wave Gaming.
It wasn't all the way muted, but
it was just
it was yeah, because I faded when I did the intro video. I faded down. Yeah, my bad.
No, you're good. Let's see.
Streaming. This is just an informal podcast.
No, that's how I roll. That's my.
So yeah, forte. You're streaming. It seems like you've been getting a lot of viewers, building a community. It's having fun with it.
It's definitely having fun with it, and it's a really, really slow building community, but it's a strong one. I bet we've got, I would say it's like 15 regular members. Yeah. And with the nature of it, it's a battle royale 4-person thing. So you have 4 people that are in it, and it'll be, people from the stream that watch it that come in, and
that is cool.
It's sweet. That's kind of why I continue to do it, because it's such an interactive thing. Gaming streaming is such an interactive thing, but so that's been fun. I'm trying to make these do a talking podcast a once a week kind of thing, and Monday is what I've been shooting for, which was perfect for this.
Sweet.
But I want to have, I don't know, I want to have a schedule, like a structured schedule.
Yeah, I've been trying to bump my podcast to 2 a week. I did 2 last week, and that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So I had to return the Shure SM7B and everything.
Oh no! Why is that?
Because the whole setup was like $1,500, and it was just not smart to spend that much money when I just lost my income. Maybe
you went so strong to the hole. You committed.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I probably could have made it work. It just would have been tight until I get some more money coming in. But the money is going to be coming in here pretty soon. So I'm working with a company to kind of be like a sponsor, and me to sponsor their brand, like me to represent them as a brand and an online presence and handle their digital marketing. Yeah. Like website updates, blog updates, like a YouTube video like once a week or something like that. Just to kind of help build their online presence, build their awareness, like a lot of the content will be geared at putting value back into the community, not like, oh, hey, these are our services, because that shit doesn't work anyways. You know what I'm saying? So I see it being pretty cool. Like I see myself being able to provide a lot of value in that capacity, because 1, I like social media, and 2, I know the industry, so I know all the technical jargon and such. So, and it allows me to just work from home and continue. So basically I'll be doing their content marketing. They'll be a sponsor of my podcast, and then basically the rest of the time I can do whatever I want with, I have like some creative freedom. Yeah.
Are you the sole creator, or is it like
I don't know yet. In the proposal that I sent them, I worded it like as a company, like we are, I did put a personalized note. Actually, I put a personalized video, and I think that really went a long way to get them on board and really sell them on the vision. And because it's a lot of money that they're going to be committing to marketing, right? Especially if they their LinkedIn page has like 50 followers right now. I mean, we could totally boost that, but like my goal is like, all right, let's get the whole world or your entire addressable market at least aware of your company's name. Yeah. Spread the awareness, right? And then so at the same time, while me building my own personal brand, and if their concept, their core values are similar to mine, so it's like it's not even like it's
really a win-win.
Yeah, I'd want to represent them anyway, because what they are doing is cool, so like they'll basically be like the logo on my sleeve. That's kind of how I see it working, because it's not like I want to work for them and be an employee, because I know like just with my life and my daughter and the things that I want to do, it won't really work out. So, and it's nicer too, because then it's not as expensive on them, and I can maybe eventually pick up more clients. So yeah, the question is, do I want to scale it, or do I want to be a solo creator? I don't really know yet. I think I'm going to take the next 3 to 6 months to figure that out. I would like to have someone to help me film, like Albert, like he's the drone guy. I mean, and he goes hiking with me, so I think I'm gonna have help, but whether I'm just gonna just pay him under the table just for helping me out for a day or here or two or there, or actually have him on payroll and have it legit. That's to be decided. I don't know, you know?
Yeah, but it sounds like you're like the face of the brand.
Yes. I mean, the company is Zack Scriven Media, so whether that's limiting myself or not, I mean, I guess I could always like rebrand it, like make it ZS Media or something, you know, kind of, or Scriven Media, something down the road, or
yeah.
But I mean, it's not a bad idea because, you know, like even just the social media marketing alone, you know, people will pay a lot of money to have that managed. That's like a job, right?
Yeah.
So then if I combine that with my own personal brand and my industry expertise, now it's like a superpower. That's the way I see it, you know? And then like a lot of people have been listening to the podcast. So, you know, thank you guys if you guys are listening. It's weird. Like I feel like I kind of bring out the best in some of these people. Like the other day I had Mr. Sean Tierney on the podcast. He's like an online PLC training, you know, expert. Like he's been doing it for like 4 or 5 years, like just blogging. And then he started an online training academy, and he does that full time. And, you know, in his videos, he's very formal, professional, but like in the podcast, it's like we're actually getting to see him as a person, right? And people like that, you know, like they want to make a connection with that person, and not, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. So I've been noticing, like in these past few podcasts that I've been recording, the theme is to work to try to be symbiotic. Like you always want your work to work for the person you're working for, and vice versa, which sounds like that's exactly where you're like,
yeah. So if it whatever, let's say it fails, then I at least got paid to figure that out, you know? And,
yes. And
it's going to be enough that I need, or, you know, and like tomorrow I'm going to go do some like 4 hours of like contract work. So, you know, maybe have like a day or two like that here and there. And that's like, you know, 80, $100 an hour could be. Right now it's like 70 is what I'm charging them, but you know, that's just more out of a favor, you know. That's not my primary focus. In fact, it's kind of a distraction, but it at least gives me something else to do and still kind of keep my skills up to, you know, up to snuff.
Yes. That's sweet. So was the Portland thing part of the
like, that was
brand deal?
No. The Portland thing is so. Yeah, so the brand deal would be kind of broken down into 3 categories. The partnership that I'm working on, the way I structured it is there's content marketing for their channel under their brand, like under their YouTube channel, under their LinkedIn, under their Twitter. So that's its own thing. Then there's the podcast, which is, you know, under my YouTube channel, but they're a sponsor. And then the third portion is like things like that. Like if I just go do that, and then I just, all right, you know, this company is making this possible right now. They're paying me to be me. Isn't that freaking cool? You know? Like that's all I would say. Like I'm not gonna, because think about it. I can't just be like, all right, at the beginning of every video, like some drawn out like ad, you know, like it's got to be more subtle. Yeah.
Yes. I agree.
Like even a lot of the marketing managers that are on LinkedIn that are successful, that work as a marketing director for that company, like more than half their videos are not even about that company. They're just about sales strategies, but they also have a sales software piece of tool, right? But like they're just providing value, and then, you know, if you want to check out their software, that's cool too. So I see
value.
I see that really, like, that's really the focus. And if we could successfully do that, it'll be very just like it won't, our industry, it hasn't really, it'll be kind of new, you know? Yeah. People are just starting to catch on to it. So yeah, that's where it is. So
that's so sweet. I feel like that's like the dream. So you just cold turkey quit your job straight up.
So I didn't actually plan on quitting. My boss knew some shit was going on, and I told him I had, you know, like, dude, it was bad. Like my life was so crazy. Like, remember I did that video, like, all right, a message to my subscribers, and I said like I can't balance works, family life, content creation, and all this. Like I feel like I'm breaking. So then my solution was to start streaming the Bible every day. And while that seemed crazy at the time, like to then like almost be doubling down on the amount of streaming and stuff that I was doing, it actually kind of helped. Like, I don't know, I want to say it was kind of important in the process of, I mean, look at me now, you know, like I'm actually getting to do what I want, you know?
Yeah.
Like at the beginning of the year, like our church did this thing where it's like you say what you want, what your goals are for that year, and they mail it back to you at 6 months. And like one of them, like the main three ones were like, you know, do good at work, do good at you know, with spend more time with Mary, spend more time with Zoe, and then like the fourth one was like, you know, have my YouTube channel become what I'm envisioning it, you know, like I don't know if I said like I want 1,000 subscribers or something, but I know YouTube was like one of my goals for this year, and it's very rewarding to actually see it becoming a thing, you know. Even if the YouTube channel itself is not like the primary thing. I mean, like I only have 512 subscribers, so, but I did do a giveaway, and so I just hit 512 today, and only one person actually successfully entered in the giveaway by commenting on the video, so he's gonna probably get it by default. But he actually lives right down the street, so I'm gonna go give it to him, film another video, and then like the company that sent me the swag for the giveaway, like they're getting it. I feel like they'll be getting a really good value out of it. Like forget that only one person actually signed up. Like 1,000 people saw the video that I was doing the giveaway just because they didn't want the stuff or whatever. Maybe they didn't want to subscribe to my channel because they're getting blasted with Bible notifications every day. So yeah. What is up, Son Burley? We're having a podcast. Moo. Someone said moo.
Nice. I have somebody in my chat that gets really angry when I don't reply to the chat. And she
was like, why are you going to live stream then?
Rages. Yeah. She's like, bye. And then she keeps saying,
tell her to jump in, appear in.
I think she's like 7.
Okay. You know, it's funny. It's like, all right. So last night I didn't do my Bible stream. So like I'm a couple days behind right now. So I'll make it up. I'm like, as long as I do all 90 days by the 90th day, like even if I have to make a few up that last day, it's not the end of the world, you know? I mean, I was pretty lit last night. I mean, we had a few beers, you know, we went out and you know, we had a good time, and some good conversations actually came from that. So that was cool. But you know, I wasn't about to like read the Bible at midnight. And in my Airbnb, and the host was already kind of OCD about everything. So God bless her heart. She was the sweetest lady, but like, oh man, like she was very particular about everything, you know? So anyways, yeah, she'd probably be like, what the heck is he doing? And our rooms were kind of right next to each other. So she'd probably be like, what the heck is he doing? Like
he's just reading out loud what's happening. Does he do this?
So anyways, the point of that little side story is that, you know, someone may be like, all right, you know, Zach, you didn't do it in 90 days, like every day. It's like, all right, well, what day are you on again? You know?
Yeah.
Like you can't really knock it until you try it yourself. And if you do it and you do it in 90 days and all that, like, then that's awesome. But I mean, I don't even think people are giving me a hard time, but
yeah. No, I agree with as long as you just complete it in 90 days.
We give ourselves a hard time, you know?
It's true. We're our own biggest critic. I think that can be good though. You can turn that into your own, like you can turn that into a positive and just continue to improve.
Okay. So you gotta check out Goldie Chan on LinkedIn.
Goldie Chan?
Yeah, GoldieChan. So she is probably the biggest LinkedIn video creator. She has over 3 million, about 3 million views. Gosh. She's on her daily video, like 280 or something. She basically started going daily, probably even before it was publicly released. I mean, if it's 280 days, I mean, she's almost been doing it for a year, and it just came out in like August.
Yeah.
But there was like a trial period, so she might have even been one of the beta testers. But anyways, she has green hair, and I kind of want to paint my hair purple. So I actually went and got temporary hair color to paint my hair purple, and then kind of do like as a tribute to her or as a nod to her, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm doing my own daily LinkedIn video series. I'm a full-time LinkedIn creator before that is even really a thing. I mean, I guess other people could call themselves full-time LinkedIn creators. Like she is kind of doing what I'm doing. She does LinkedIn videos every day, And then she also has her own marketing company that she started at the beginning of this year. So, you know, it's kind of like a complementary business thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like LinkedIn is going to write me a check, you know, because they don't really do that yet, right?
Yeah. Huh.
But I
What do
think
you try to do with your LinkedIn videos? Like
whatever I'm feeling.
just whatever you're feeling?
Yeah. So like today, I did actually three original videos to LinkedIn today. But so I did one where I got to the airport and I just kind of did a little recap, like what my takeaways from this weekend were, like a minute and 30 seconds. And then I did another one. There's another creator that does a weekly video series and she calls it Coffee with Kim. And she has like a 60-second thing. Last week I did not like a parody, but like she was having Coffee with Kim. So then like I watched it right when it came out. And so like within 30 minutes, I had my own video up and like responding to her, you know, her topic of the day, but like with me drinking my coffee too, you know? So, and I'm like, all right, I'm having coffee with Kim. And she commented, I did that again today. Like not because I'm going to like do it every week, but just because like I watched it and I'm like, oh, that kind of resonates with me. It was about the importance of having a mentor and also being a mentor. And sometimes being a mentor could almost be as effective, if not more, than having a mentor.
Yeah, we talked about that too with the teaching styles of how you can be taught or you can teach. And when you teach, you're like rerunning it through your head and you learn just as much.
Yeah. Kind of thirsty.
Genius. I get dried instant.
That'll happen.
But yes. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's good.
So what are you doing for income right now? Just still working at the church?
Working at the church. I just filmed a couple videos today. I got my camera set up. Filming a couple more tomorrow. And I'm still working part-time at this other place.
Oh, okay.
And then house sitting when I can.
That's cool.
I usually just take any income I can. Trying to save.
In a way, you have like a really ideal scenario because you basically have like a lot of time to focus on the videos.
Yeah, dude, it's perfect.
And you have like an infinite runway. But in the same sense too, there's nothing like a sense of urgency to kind of kick stuff into gear too, you know?
Dude, okay, so yeah, no, so a couple things with that. So my girlfriend just got a job, like a internship where she's working at a wildlife place, which is like 7 days a week. There's no like weekends. So they have like some people's weekends will be Friday, Saturday, some will be Tuesday, whatever. She got assigned where it's Wednesday, Thursday, which is like weird days, but because of how flexible my schedule is, I just texted my boss and I was like, hey, what do you think? I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday at this one job. I just texted him. I was like, hey man, is it cool if we shift my Wednesday to a Tuesday? And then that gives me Wednesday, Thursday. So now we can hang out during that slot. Like it's super nice having that, that flexibility.
Yeah.
And then that's what I'm trying to do with the stream schedule. I want to have everything just structured. And I mean, consistency is also super important with things like streaming. Like people are like, okay, so we know that we can go home and at 7:00 he's streaming, like having an expectation, but stuff like that. Yeah. It's super nice to be flexible. And I agree with the sense of urgency to try to get things kicked off.
Yeah. I'm trying to interpret this comment from Twitch and I'm not.
What's it say?
Awesome pics, great size, look thick, solid, tight. Keep us all posted on your continued progress, and with any new progress, pics or vid clips, show us what you got, man. Want to see how freaking huge, solid, thick, and tight you can get. Thanks for the motivation. It's like half of it I feel like he's trolling, and half of it I feel like he's.
It sounded like it was a guy that came in and trolled, but he actually knows what he's like. He knows your stuff. I don't like it.
All right. Anyways,
oh man. How solid, thick, and tight are you? Well, you know, I got a LinkedIn. That's funny. Yes, consistency. Consistency is big. Flexibility is big.
How has how long have you been with your girlfriend now, like officially?
So officially, like 3 days, 4 or 5 days, but we met through Beam. Okay, this is a good. So did you ever know Jeanne? I might have said this before. There's a girl on Beam. Her name was Jeanne. She was part of the beta test.
Not recalling anything.
So it was me. I want to say that the beta team was probably like 12 people, but Jeanne was one of them, and it was one of my friends that we met, and she happened to live in Alabama where my grandparents live. So when I went and saw them for Christmas, we got to actually hang out, and it was cool. But we stayed in touch. But fast forward like 6 months, I was flying to Haiti using Delta Airlines, and they were garbage for
it's like
time.
You're sponsoring them.
Sponsored by Delta, but so it was terrible. Like we got our flight shifted, and they gave us like a meal voucher, but it didn't work, and whatever, all this stuff. So Jeanne connected me with her friend who was also having Delta troubles, and she was in like Detroit or something. I was in Atlanta, and we started talking, and it was just like friend talking, blah, blah, blah. And that was like a year ago. And then this January, somehow something came up, and we just like chatted, and we headed off like instantly. But we got to go and meet for the very first time on last Wednesday, a couple days ago.
Whoa.
And it was
I thought
great.
Wait, so how far away is she?
She is in just outside of Albany, but goes to school outside of Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, that's far, dude.
Dude, yeah. So
But you were worried about moving. I thought one of the reasons you didn't want to move to Virginia to work for Mr. Beast was because.
So she just got an internship.
Was that a different girl?
No. No. So she just got an internship like an hour and a half away from me. And that when I got the Mr. Beast thing, it was literally like 2 weeks after she got that internship. So like all this stuff was happening all at once. And I don't know. I knew that we were serious-ish at that time. I was like, okay, we're serious-ish. But that definitely played into the Mr. Beast thing. But no, so we had not met until Wednesday. Everything was through FaceTime and texting and not meeting. Yeah.
We'll have to like, well, two things. We'll have to continue some more of this conversation offline, but second, we should do a meetup.
Yes, dude, we seriously need to.
New York City, man. Let's go big or go home.
We have a Facebook page called Beam Meetup that we were going to do one in New York City this spring break, and it felt like it was all going to work out, and it never did. Like Taylor, who I've done podcasts with a lot, she's also from Beam. We had like this whole thing, but
okay, we'll get like a bus and we'll just drive there with everybody.
Let's do it. I'm totally down.
We'll start in San Diego with Taylor, and we'll just go all the way
just
across.
Bus across, dude. So that's
live stream it, vlog it.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest goals. Like, I just want to save enough money and be flexible enough to where I can do like actually, Sarah and I, my girlfriend, are trying to do in August. It worked out where her internship ends in August and my contract ends in August. But then I've got another contract in September. But we have all of August open. So I really want to do a road trip and
do that. Look on that website that Jack Cohen got his RV on.
Yeah, we actually were thinking about that. We talked about that in our podcast. Dude, that would be so sweet.
Anyways, if anything, I'll just fly there and meet you there, or even
come
just
to
North
Richmond.
Carolina. Yeah, that would be cool too.
Or DC's really cheap to fly to.
I can fly anywhere for free, man.
What do you mean?
You didn't know? I thought I told you this. I have standby benefits.
What do you mean?
So when there's empty seats on the plane,
I know
industry people and their relatives can get standby seats to fill those empty seats without paying.
But how can you get in on that?
My fiance works for American Airlines as a flight attendant.
Okay. There's the kicker, boys and girls. Okay, so I didn't know.
If you watch my LinkedIn video, I actually talk about this yesterday in the Daily Z.
I gotta go, dude. I watch so little content that it's really embarrassing. I need to like, I don't watch anything. That's actually been something that I wanna get on my schedule, is to watch things.
Okay.
But
it gives me a lot of inspiration. Like I said, some of the, like, I'm doing almost like parodies, but to my own spin, that's almost like my style. Like I started out in parodies, and now it's like I'm back at parodies. Back to parody,
but it's like
my pastor saw that the podcast style interview that I did with the Airbnb guests that were getting a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I did watch that.
Yeah, so even if you didn't watch the whole like whatever 20-minute podcast, I made like a 2-minute highlight, reel.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Were you kind of like trying to make it like a parody?" I'm like, "Not, I wasn't trying to, but like that's just my style."
It's your roots.
Yeah, it's like
That's
this
funny.
is they're trying to make this a problem. Like, let's just flip this problem on its head and realize how stupid this actually is. Just
Yeah.
like staying 30 years in a 9-to-5 job that you hate, over the fear of money,
Yes.
which is a rational fear in a lot of cases, but I feel like in a lot of cases it's not. And even I'm like kind of crazy, and it was hard for me, so I can't imagine. And I'm not saying that everyone that's in those jobs hates it. I totally understand. I think it's a smaller percentage than what we might give credit for, but there's probably people that are perfectly happy with that, or at least maybe they've been brainwashed enough to where they think they are happy with that. Who knows, but that's for them to decide. That's for them to, I'm going to do what I got to do,
Yes.
And if that means like getting rid of that irrational fear to quit my job, or getting rid of that irrational fear that I'm not going to have money, or that, like they're not going to be able to replace me. Like they already replaced me, so like, why am I going to kill myself over a job that'll replace me 2 minutes after I die?
Yes, this is true. This is true.
Yeah, and then separating, one of the other things that was hard was like separating, like I am okay with those people personally, but that doesn't mean that I have to like that work environment,
Yeah.
Those are two separate things, and it was like hard because like, I'm a personable person. Like I connect with my manager even though I think that him and I don't think alike,
Yeah.
Like older people are typically more like stubborn, like and I think everyone is kind of guilty of that. I think as we all get older, we get more and more stubborn.
Well, because I think it's a generational thing. You just think that your generation's better, and which is I think natural.
Yeah.
But like older people, like I think that everything's on like the way that society and technology and everything is like improving is on a bell curve where like it used to be kind of slow. Now it's like ridiculous. Like things are moving so fast, and the older generation is just not
like businesses that could make millions of dollars today were not even a business like 10 years ago. So why are we going to limit ourselves to careers that were created like 40 years ago when the office cubicle, became a thing? And then, like when we shift kind of from like a manufacturing production type workforce to like blue collar office jobs, bureaucratical, stuff like that. And
yes.
I mean, yeah, some companies like, they all need that and stuff too. And that's fine. Like as long as there's a good cultural fit, then I don't think it's that big of it. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. It's just, the older generation needs to get used to it because it's kind of here to stay.
All right. Let's drop a quick plug in for my sponsor.
Do it.
All right. So I am screen sharing. I'm gonna make it big. So this is a company. I worked for this company on a project. Well, not this company. I worked for this guy right here, Walker, on a project in Dallas, and he's really cool. And then he went and started his own company. This is his company, Intellic Integration. He's crazy, dude. Look at this. He put out his entire financial records in a blog post. Not like actual numbers, like how many million or whatever sales they got, but their actual sales beat the 2017 sales goal by 27%. 61% of the deals they closed. Like a lot of metrics, actual revenue beat the goal by 19%. Profit beat the goal by 13%, and gross profit was down by 6%. So even if it was down, they still said that, like, dude, okay, get this, and then we'll be done with the plug. I just think this is super cool. Each team member had 2 weeks of paid vacation, 1 week of personal time, 10 paid holidays. Okay, so that's pretty standard, right? And then as a team, they also took additional 3 weeks paid off. So basically double their vacation.
Dang.
The week of 4th of July, the week of Thanksgiving, and the week of Christmas. They all got to take all those days off. without using any of their vacation. So isn't that pretty cool? I mean, obviously, if the company wasn't doing well, then they probably wouldn't have done that. But it's that mentality is probably why they're fucking doing well, you know? Like, it seems very obvious, but I mean, to a lot of people, it's not, you know?
Work environment is a lot bigger than some people think. And like happy people.
Yeah.
Which is, you'd think that that's like super given.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Because honestly, let's say when I was working on a big project like that and I'd go home for Thanksgiving, I'm still working on it, you know, like it's in my mind. I might even pull up my laptop. At least
thinking about it.
Like I don't want to be like, oh no, I can't work on the project right now because I'm getting paid to not be in the office right now. No, like they left that up to the employee of what they wanted to do with that time, whether they wanted to work a little bit, whether they wanted to be with their family. It's like Kurt Mercendal says, it's focusing on the outputs instead of the inputs. And his whole speech that he did was like, he was doing a speech at like some HR conference in like Nashville or something. And they're like, oh, you need to make 20 slides. And he was stressing out that he had to make 20 slides. And then he realized that it was bullshit because his whole speech was going to be about focusing on the outputs and not the inputs. The inputs being the 20 slides, but the output actually being what the audience takes away.
Yeah.
And so he literally just grabbed 20 random slides, didn't even look at them, and then that was just his slides. And
so good.
And it actually kind of helped drive home the point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that, like, you know, I mean, if I was in Dallas, like, I'd probably want to work for them, but you know, I don't know. I like this. I feel like they kind of talked about feeling the vacuum. And so like they kind of create an environment where engineers can kind of work on the areas and problems that basically they need to be worked on, right? Like if there's a problem, there's a workflow that's inefficient, they allow them to work on that. So it's almost like I'm saying, hey, you know, I think there's a lack in marketing representation, not within just your company, but within the industry as a whole. And I want to shift that. Like I want to change the way that people in our industry consume content. I want to change the way they think of marketing and, you know, social media, right? And
yeah,
so it's almost like that's why I think the partnership is going to work out really well. Obviously, you could tell who it is by now, but yeah,
that's sweet.
Isn't that cool, dude? It's like it's kind of like in a way it's kind of like having a job, because like managing the social media posts and doing a weekly YouTube video series is like I'm you know being paid to produce that. But that's if I set up a film, like if I get efficient with that and use tools and I do like batch filming and then batch editing for I could do 4 videos in like a day or two, then edit them in a day or two, and then schedule those to be uploaded. You know, so it's not like a full-time thing, but it's, you know, it's also not a full-time pay either. But then it allows me to focus on the podcast, building my own personal brand, and doing whatever. So it's like, it's perfect.
Yes, I think that's sweet. And scheduling, like, yeah, I'm trying to like put advice into it. I think that scheduling is the biggest thing, because people are always afraid that they're not going to get something done, or they're afraid to start because they think that it's going to take too long. Oh, but if you come up with a plan and schedule, cash.
There's a really cool tool that I'm using that is actually making my workflow a lot easier. Canva.com. They have an app as well, and they have a bunch of free templates for YouTube thumbnail, YouTube banner art, social media post, Instagram square quote, Twitter post. Like, and you go to those templates and you can kind of pick one, change the picture, change the text, and it's just like real easy drag and drop interface, whether it's the web one or the app. So like I made it. So my LinkedIn video, I made it. My daily LinkedIn video is not gonna, I don't think, have a high production quality unless I'm specifically intending it to for a specific video. But that's why I kind of need it to be fast. So I use Clip, get the clips together, cut them, sync the audio levels, and then I made the thumbnail and put that at the beginning. And the LinkedIn, the way it works is like whatever's on the screen first, that's the thumbnail. So I just drop a still for like a second, and then it made the video I mean, I guess everyone knows thumbnails are important, but like it made the video actually get viewed a lot more. And even when I was talking to someone, they're like, oh yeah, I liked it because you had this Portland thumbnail with big text that said Portland, and it's like a nice sunset image of the city skyline. So they're just, oh yeah, let's watch this.
Never underestimate a thumbnail.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep that daily Z workflow to like I can edit it in under like 3 minutes on my phone and then just upload it. But then I'm gonna do not a daily series. I'm gonna do a video series where I travel to a company within the industry and basically pretend like I'm working there for a day, and maybe even like have like a mock interview, record that, like, and basically do like a 10-minute short film on what it would be like to work for that company and my opinions on it.
That's sweet. It's like Undercover Boss.
Kind of, yeah. And then so that way people that are not aware about that company may think that it's a good fit for them, or even better, people that are thinking about working for that company and see, and this kind of sounds crazy, like then people are like, well, then why would I want to make that video? Well, if watching a video is going to make someone that was going to work there not want to work there, then maybe it's probably best that they didn't start working there.
Yeah.
So then you didn't have to go through onboarding and turnover costs for hiring them, and then they find out after it's really not for them. That's kind of my driving force too. It's like information transparency. Like, let's transform the way that business is done within our industry.
Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's sweet. I've wanted to do a podcast where I get people that have like varying professions or careers that just come on and talk about what the career is.
Okay.
Because like that literally the idea. Yeah. Well, the idea came from, I have a friend at church that just graduated with a urban planning degree, and I had never heard of urban planning. So like get like her on here and we talk about what an urban planner does, so that if you've never heard of it, maybe you're like, oh, I'd like to look into that. Yeah. Or something like basic, like if you're like a farmer, we can talk to a farmer that's like tells you, and you can be like, okay, okay, I've heard of that. I kind of like, it's just like informative. Maybe it's something that you have heard of and you learn more about, or it's something you've never heard about and you learn something you never learned, and it's opening your eyes to different careers. So it sounds like that's similar in yours, but yours is just more specific company based.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna start with Intellic, because I'm gonna fly, like once we kind of reach an agreement, which we already pretty much have, but like I want to go out there, we're gonna get onboarded, like we're gonna have an in-person meeting, so I might as well just make that the first episode is like, all right, this is what it'd be like to work for Intellic. And that would be a series produced under my YouTube channel, but I would just like plug them at the end, like, all right, Intellic made this video possible, and then go hit up other companies and maybe see if they'd be willing to either do it for free if I can get there easily, or, you know, like maybe just cover like a hotel cost, something like that.
Yeah.
So some form of like just covering the cost, because I want to make it legit and really make it like a marketing tool, you know?
Yeah. Is your target audience anybody, or specific towards somebody who's already thinking about working at these places?
So I kind of have two audiences. So I have my audience that is within the industry that I work in, that I am still working in, just in a different facet, the automation industrial controls industry. And I've actually been pretty well known within that industry for a while. Like I've gone to a lot of events and spoken at a lot of conferences. My dad and mom were in the industry, so a lot of people know me from that. Like a lot of people already knew me, so that audience was kind of already there. And then just doing video on LinkedIn and YouTube. I mean, I had done YouTube videos about like this tech stuff that I did, like back when I was actually running my own company, like 2013. The videos were like garbage compared to what I am able to do now, but they were still out there, and people were like, oh, this kid's young, this kid's doing a video about a cool topic. You know, they didn't necessarily care that the production quality wasn't as high, right? It stood out to them. So anyways, that's my one audience, and that's kind of the audience that really Intellic is kind of also, that's their target audience, right?
Yeah.
Then my secondary audience is kind of more broad. It's like the creator community, like within LinkedIn particularly. or maybe
Like
people that are on the fence about like whether or not they want to quit their job, like hearing me and my story like influences them, maybe not to quit their job, but or maybe to change jobs or whatever it may be, right? Kind of like a motivational, inspirational type of speaker, and then have like a broad audience.
Yeah, the general your brand audience, not geared specifically towards this place.
Yeah,
just more the idea. I like it. Huh. That's sweet.
It's funny because some people, they're like, oh, I remember when you used to work back in your skater days, and I'm like, wow, it's like people are like almost thinking that I've kind of like moved on to bigger and better things. Not that it's not good where I came from, right? But like they just kind of, I don't know, people. Like I say this from a place of humbleness. Like a lot of people have said, like, dude, you're a genius. What you're doing, like, just keep doing it, you know, and that motivates me to keep going.
Yes.
And it's not easy, dude. I thought of this today. I'm like, dude, this is not easy. But then it dawned on me. I'm like, I didn't make this change because it was going to be easy. I knew it was going to be hard, but it's what I love doing. So in that sense, it's not that hard. It's just, it's a lot of work, you know? And I know sometimes it may seem like, all right, in my video, I'm like, yeah, I don't have a job. I can fly to Portland. I can make it like I'm going to Hawaii. Like, I'm trying to make it be like, all right, yeah, this is the life, right? Mm-hmm. But it's still a lot of hard work. So I think I want to continue to reiterate that because I don't want to give people the wrong impression that it's like glamorous and that just anyone should do this. It has to be, you know, like sacrifice and stuff. And, you know, like I said, if I was like loaded with a lot of student debt, man, I wouldn't have been able to do this, you know? I would have been obligated to make a higher income to pay for that. And that's another thing that's like, why don't we spread awareness to our youth that, you know, maybe they shouldn't be taking out a lot of college debt because odds are that they may want to end up changing what it is they may want to do, and then they'll be shackled and can't.
Yes. So, yeah, I think that's something that is not taught at all.
Like, even if it was too early for me to do it, I feel like I had to do it just to build my own cause, like to reap what I like, to actually practice what I preach, you know?
Yeah, that was why I didn't want to do school, because I was like, I always talk about how I don't need school, but I'm still in school. So what's the deal? So I was like, you know what? Let's cut that one off.
Nice, man.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Dude, this has been pretty fun. If anyone is still listening, we'd love to hear what you guys think of this style of podcast.
Yeah.
And also that advertisement too is a different style than what I typically do. Typically I do like a pre-recorded video, and the advertisement itself is almost kind of like a parody. When I actually look back and read it, I'm like, I'm kind of like joking about the fact that it's an advertisement, right? Like, but it's kind of funny. So, but like the one today was just like, all right, you know, we're just talking about the company. So it's kind of a different, just trying different things, you know, see what works.
Yeah.
See what people like, you know?
Yeah. It's all about trial and error.
Let's see your best intro.
My best intro?
Yeah.
Like me give an intro?
Yeah, like you're gonna intro whatever video. Like,
oh gosh, dude. What's up, guys? So today we got Zack Scriven on the podcast. I like that. Yeah, no, I like that. That you're right there.
Okay.
Hit me.
What's up, guys? Zack Scriven here. Today we're with Bailey Stanfield. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Bayfield. And you're listening to the Zack Scriven podcast, helping you get the most out of life and business. I like it. Don't know where to go from here.
I like it. That's something that I struggle with, is a constant intro and outro. I've sort of got an outro, but I just hate it.
My signature outro has just been like, and then just, you know,
yeah,
like either
I do the chest and then color it out. I like it coming naturally. Like I always want to be like, all right, I'm gonna write down what my intro is gonna be, and then I'm gonna just say that every time.
It doesn't sound like official.
Yeah, the clap thing came from, I just did it one time and I was like, I kind of like that. So then I
to sync the audio and video.
Yeah. And then, yeah.
I don't know if I asked you this already, but I'll ask it again for the podcast. I'm considering getting a new laptop. What should I get? Should I get a Mac? Should I get a...
What are you trying to do with it?
I want it to be able to stream, and I want it to be able to edit videos. And I don't know if I want a Final Cut or a Premiere. I know for certain that if I have a PC, I'll use Premiere, and if I have a Mac, I'll use Final Cut. Because I think obviously you can't go Final Cut on Windows, but Premiere on Macintosh on Apple is a lot slower than running on the same hardware, at least cost wise, on PC.
Interesting. I have all Adobe products on my Mac.
So you still run Premiere on Mac?
Yeah, I mean I do Premiere on Mac. I have Premiere, Illustrator, After Effects, Photoshop, and Audition. And I've never really had a problem with them. It's gotten better because I have the cloud suite, so it updates like literally almost weekly.
So if you record a video on your PC though, then that's the issue that I'm having right now, is because I don't have editing software per se on my PC. So I have to put it to the NAS, and then I have to pull it off the NAS over the Wi-Fi, which is slower than the LAN, to my Mac to edit on iMovie. So like I don't have an efficient workflow. So I'm kind of almost thinking go Windows laptop, so then I could run the same suite of software on my desktop, and then just edit with the same experience no matter if I'm on my PC or my laptop.
Premiere works with both. I mean, like you can, and you get when you make an account, you get 2 logins. Like you can have it on. So like I've got it on my.
PC. I wouldn't run Premiere on Mac because it's slower to export than and also I think the streaming is not going to be as good. Like you can get
that's definitely something Mac doesn't.
i7 processor on a. I'm looking at like the Razer books, which are kind of similar to Mac, but you know,
I had an ROG.
The bang for your buck is going to be a little bit higher.
Yeah,
that thing was probably loud though.
It was pretty loud, and it would get really, really hot. I think that why I like Mac is because I shoot so many videos with my phone that I can airdrop it, and it's like I can drop 20 gigs of video in like 30 minutes. It's ridiculous how fast everything goes. But what was I gonna say?
I had to fully escape the Apple ecosystem, because if you have what is the Apple ecosystem?
No. Why'd you have to escape it?
Well, because if you have any part of yourself left in it, you inevitably are gonna get sucked back in. You know.
That's true.
Like if I still had an iPhone, I'd probably be like, oh, I'll just get a MacBook because then that'll be really nice. But now that I don't have the iPhone, I have a Google Pixel. I can actually evaluate whether I want a MacBook or whether I want a Pixel, or whether I want a Windows laptop, just purely based on the laptop and not based on the ecosystem benefit.
There's definitely something to say about the ecosystem though, because
But yes, that's when you're fully on board, but you're not taking into account that you have to give up flexibility in order to get that benefit, right?
That's true. So I mean, like, my whole streaming setup is PC, and I love it because Mac doesn't run OBS the same way.
Yeah.
But so I stream. The only Adobe products I have on here are Photoshop for thumbnails, and that I never do any editing on here. But I do all my editing on my computer because I can sling it from my phone, and it's just iPhone to Mac is faster than any Android to PC. Like I from all my experience, like that the fastest phone to computer is the Apple ecosystem. Like that's guaranteed. Like I can prove that in every way. But
you're probably comparing, like, have you done that on a phone that runs USB 3?
Yeah. I mean, I've done it with a phone that has an SD card. Like you can have, like if you get, I had a friend that had the Pixel, and he took his SD card and put it in, and it is still slower than using AirDrop. Because
the SD card though reader is typically only going to be
like 90
2.0 reader.
Well, I mean, even if it's a USB 3.
What I do, I mean, if I'm filming on the phone, I'll probably just edit it on the phone. There's going to be certain scenarios where I'll have both, but that's going to be like a bigger project. So I'll have it just, I'll be like on Wi-Fi. I'll have it upload to Photos, and then I'll download it from Photos. And it does kind of take a while if it's a longer file. Or I could just get my cable and then just plug it in and then just drag it off, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah,
the cable is nice. But like I used to, I don't know how in the world I did it, but I used to use Microsoft OneDrive for all my videos. I would put it all on OneDrive and then take it off on my computer, and it took so long because it was through Wi-Fi. Where I'm telling you, AirDrop it's so nice. It's through Bluetooth. It's literally like the fastest thing. Anyway, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
No, it is pretty cool, but it would be. What's up, Brandon? It'd be a lot cooler though if you could just AirDrop to anything.
I know.
I just make that open technology.
Yeah, I wish that you could just match. Like, yeah, because I want to build a PC. I'm not going to go away. Like for streaming, I'm never going to not use a PC because it's just so much better.
Yeah, so I think I have to get a Windows laptop though, because I want to be able to do mobile streaming. So like when I go to an event like in Portland, if I wanted to start streaming it, you know, I got my streaming laptop, I got my iPod, and then I'm streaming, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you can still stream. Like I have OBS on here. It's just they don't have OBS Studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's got OBS. I don't even know what it's called, but you can do almost the same thing. I did my last this podcast on here, but I think the shelf life of especially when you're talking laptops, the shelf life of a Mac is a lot longer.
That's true.
But for shelf life for a PC is much longer, especially when it's like a actual box frame, because you can change parts. Mm-hmm. Not going to be able to do that with a Mac.
I'm still working on an old PC. It was built like in 2011 or 12.
This one was an 11, and it's still bueno. But I think what it comes down to is there's no right answer. If you just have to figure out your way. Yeah. And it also depends on where you fit. Like I film so much with my phone that I need it to be fast between phone and PC, or between phone and laptop. But if you're wanting to stream also, then that is another variable. There's no right answer. It's all catered to the person. And specs too. So that helps a whole lot.
All I know, the Pixel 2 is probably the best piece of technology that I've ever owned.
I debated heavily getting the Pixel 2.
Was it based on my recommendation, or you were also just thinking about it?
It was MKBHD. I watched his review.
It's his daily driver.
It's so sweet. He's got he keeps an X too. Oh, it's so nice.
It's a little bit big and it doesn't fit in my gimbal that well. An X would, I'm not gonna lie, an X would actually be a really good like filming camera, even though I like the camera on the Pixel better, just in that it would fit in my gimbal, whereas this barely fits in my gimbal, and it'll touch, like I have to go a little bit out this way because it'll touch the volume down, and then it kind of makes it slightly off balance. But I can get it to balance, and then it's nice, but it also has pretty decent, IS built in, but nothing compared to the gimbal. So
that's sweet. Yeah, no, and I love Google, so it's different than the Android market.
When I switched to Google Photos, it just took off so much like technical debt off my shoulders. Not technical debt, but like
real estate and storage.
Yeah, just like workload debt. Like I felt like guilty that I was taking photos and then not backing them up, and that like if let's say my phone got lost and stolen, which has happened, and I didn't do an iCloud backup, like I lost those photos for good.
Yeah.
Whereas, and I'm not having to pay for the storage, but like, so now with Google Photos, it's like good,
Yeah.
I don't even have to think about it. Watch, I could go into Photos right now and it'll be like, all right, clear up 13 gigs. Free up space.
And it just happens? Oh, dang. And it's unlimited, right?
Yeah.
Do you get unlimited storage?
Um,
I mean, iCloud or cloud storage?
so there's two things. Google Photos, you have two. Anyone can go to Google Photos and start uploading. Like if it's less than a certain size, for unlimited for free. If it's a high size, it'll kind of reduce the quality a bit. So like let's say it's like a 20 megapixel camera or something. It's like 4,000 pixels by like 4,000. It might compress that a little bit to like, you know, still more than like an HD screen. So like if you're looking at on your phone, you wouldn't notice a difference. But if you were gonna like blow it up to print it, to put it on a billboard, then you'd. But then then again, you're not gonna back up that file using Google Photos. You're gonna have like, you know. So anyways, so for most people, it just works fine. Now the Pixel is different in that it gets unlimited of the higher tier uncompressed storage, even including 4K videos, unlimited for free for 3 years after the purchase price. In which case, then it just goes back down to like a normal plan, unlimited compressed, or 30 gigs, whatever your drive space is, uncompressed. So like as if you were filming it from an iPhone. So yeah, they basically give you 3 years of unlimited just for buying the phone.
That's sweet. I did upgrade my Google Drive to the 100 gig because I use it so much, but
there it is, dude. I got that purple one.
Oh, that's sweet. Ooh. All right. About to be mauve.
So Kurt, violet. This is probably the 10th time I said Kurt Mercendite on this podcast, but in a LinkedIn thread, someone was like, how to be a workplace unicorn, and it's like such and such and such. And my comment was like, how to be a LinkedIn video creator unicorn, and I had like 4 things. I'm like, start posting daily videos since LinkedIn video became a thing, have green hair, post engaging and entertaining content, and then like all of the above. And like some people commented on it, they're like, oh, I'm gonna dye my hair. I'm like, they're saying like, oh, so I should dye my hair. Yeah. And Kurt Mercendite said like, I'll dye my beard.
Sweet.
So I want to do it, and then in that video I'll be like, all right, Kurt, now you got to dye your beard.
Do it like the ALS challenge. Call out your person that's going to do the next one.
Wouldn't that be cool? Like if I was Goldie, I'd get a kick out of it, you know? And it's like Goldie's like liked my comments and replied to my comments before. So I mean, while she may not have watched every single one of my videos, I don't think anyone expects any one of their followers to watch every single one of their videos. But I think she'd get a kick out of it. You know, I don't think she'd take it as an offense. You know,
no chance.
So,
yeah, that'd be sweet. And it'd be interactive.
Yeah,
do it.
So we should probably end this podcast here.
1 a.m. here on the East Coast.
Thanks for staying up late to do this, dude.
Yeah, dude. Appreciate you having me. I'm always down to record.
Document, man.
Always document.
Dude, man, we go back to our podcast like a month ago, and it's like I still don't even know what I was gonna do with my life. Like I still hadn't quit. I was talking like I wanted to quit, but didn't have the balls to do it yet. You know.
That's what I love about documenting is looking back. That's like that should be the motivation for anybody to document.
Yeah, I could look at this in a month and be like, damn, I had no clue what I was really doing, but I admire the courage, you know?
We talked out. That's fun. Yeah, no, I agree. Anybody out there, please just document everything you ever do, or at least some of it.
Yeah.
And you'll be good. That's it.
We'll see you guys. Thank you guys for listening to the Zack Scriven podcast. Thank you, Bayfield, for being a guest. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to end my stream here.